So there was another mass shooting yesterday. This one happened at a Kroger in a small town in Tennessee called Collierville. Do you recognize that small town's name? Well, any of you who have sent me something via P.O. Box, corresponded via my P.O. Box, would recognize that. That is my hometown. This Kroger store is about a quarter of a mile from where my parents and my in-laws live. This Kroger store is where I know many of the people who work there and who have worked there over the years, but definitely who work there now. I frequent that store, get my prescriptions filled at that store. My parents and in-laws shop at that store, my sister too. Lots of people I know do. Lots of friends and acquaintances. That's the store that I had one of my first jobs in. Sacking groceries, pulling in carts when I was a teenager. Funny story, I got what I call my first tattoo at that store. For some reason, I was a teenager, so who the hell knows, but for some reason I was gliding along the wall by leaning along my left side on the wall, walking down a hallway. And somebody had stuck a pencil with the lead side pointing out, about thigh level, somehow, I don't know. And I'm gliding along there, running against the wall. And it poked me in the leg, and I guess a piece of lead broke off in there, because to this day I still have that little, looks like a little tattoo dot. Anyway, I digress. So the gunman, they're saying that it was a former employee, disgruntled because he was fired, and went in and shot 14 people, killing one, injuring critically in some cases the other 13, and then at some point turned the gun on himself. Now, this is unconfirmed, this part, what I'm about to tell you, but some people have said, friends of mine, people I know, people that are, amateur sleuths, I guess, they're saying that it was the sushi chef. Now, they got a little sushi bar in there near their deli, and I've had it many times. It's good. And it's been the same sushi chef, this little fella, this guy, for 3 or 4 years. And I did notice Monday I went in there to refill a prescription. And they told me to be about a 30-minute wait, so I thought, okay, I'll go over and have some sushi. And I noticed it was a woman there. And it's always this guy. It's only open a few hours during the day, I think Monday through Friday. But at any rate, I didn't think much of it other than that. Oh, okay, somebody else. No big deal. But the scuttlebutt is that it was the sushi chef that got fired, and then he went in and killed the woman who replaced him, and then, shot 13 others, critically injuring some, including a retired couple that frequents the restaurant where my wife works and has for many years. Two or three times a week. Real nice couple. I found out from this couple's nephew, who's a guy that I know, last night. I was up late. It was a late night last night, trying to gather info on all this, make sure everybody that we know and love is safe and secure. But from the nephew, I talked to him last night, and he said that the man is doing fair, all things considered. Got shot in the stomach, and he had much of his intestines removed to help him survive this. The woman, the woman more superficially was shot in the arm, But think about this. You say, oh, thank God, and yes, thank God, that it was a quote unquote superficial. But the mark that will be left on her and her husband and everybody else that was there, whether they got shot or not, will last a lifetime in some cases. That will be a pain and a, that's a tragedy. It will leave a mark. My mother and my sister were going grocery shopping yesterday. They struck out about 12:30 or so. Headed to the Kroger. It's only a quarter mile up the road from where my mom lives. Mom and Dad. They're about to pull in and they decide at the last minute that they want to eat. Let's go eat first. So they pull in across the street to a Subway sandwich shop and get a sandwich. That's when this stuff takes place. Had they not decided to stop and eat, they would have been in there when this happened. And like I say, lots of people that were in there that I know. People that I know were shot. My wife works right near there. She wasn't there yesterday, thankfully, but it just, something like this, two things come to mind, I guess. Lots of things come to mind, but there's two things I want to point out. One, evil exists, obviously. People, yes, do insane things, and you never know when something like that's going to happen. Two, this is why we've got to always be prepared. And in this instance, I'm talking about watching your six. More than that, I'm talking about having having your firearm on you. I'm a huge proponent of everyone carrying. Now, does that mean that, RWP, would you have jumped up and shot the guy? Probably not. I'm not saying that. I don't mean it with a bravado. But many people, there were reports, of people just ducking and running, which same stuff you would hear in any of these types of events. Screaming, flailing, not knowing what to do, confusion, panic. But yeah, if I was there and had the shot, I'd take it and stop him, the man shooting. If I didn't, I wouldn't. I would also try and duck and hide and get the heck out of there, But it does give us an advantage in these situations. And if more of us did it, maybe the crazies would show their crazy less often. I don't know. There's a lesson here. Maybe I'm still trying to sort it out because this is close to home for me, as I described. But I just wanted to share it with you guys. So for those of you, my praying folks out there, say a prayer for this town, for the families affected, for old RWP too, why not? I could always use it. And y'all stay safe out there. Talk to you soon.